Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we're recording. Welcome in. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Great. See Mr. Tony here. My co-host is all enthused and ready to go.
Let's go.
Yeah. As I'm sure most of you know, I am Mr. Garrett M. La Laguna. The M this week stands for middle, as in middle name. This is my co-host, Mr. Tony S. Burgess.
The S stands for Scott, because that is my middle name.
Ah.
Yeah. Very, very creative we are this week.
Indeed. I couldn't think of anything, and I was having a total brain fart and just I didn't really feel like thinking about it.
Fair enough.
But here we are. We got our last two previews going on this week, our last one next week, and then our draft overview.
Yes, sir.
In that final week, and then we have the draft. I think right now we have decided almost on a day, because it seems like a lot of people are okay with Tuesday, September 7th.
On a Tuesday.
So
it's going
to be 2 days before the draft, or before the actual start of the fantasy football season. That should still give us plenty of time to do the draft, hit up waivers if necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's what it's looking like as of right now. I've spoken with Aaron, you, Jen, myself, and somebody else. At least half the league has confirmed that
really good.
That Tuesday will work. So after that,
I mean, you just got to make it official at some point. Just be like, this is it.
This
Figure
is
it out.
it. Yep.
Otherwise, set your draft board.
Yep. Deal with it. Otherwise, yeah.
Because it is hard sometimes. Getting everyone together at the same time, but
at least if
you're not going to be
people.
Yeah, if you're not going to be available, just make sure to set your draft board so that you still get players that you generally like.
Yep, I'm trying to do my best to make it as available to everybody. So we'll see how this goes. But as of right now, Tuesday, September 7th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time should give everybody.
I think that was my S last year. Set your draft board.
Set your draft board.
Set your draft board.
You did that a couple times.
Yeah, we did.
But set your draft board.
Yep.
God damn it. But this week we're talking about the NFC West. Good division.
A very good division, very solid. They used to be a really crappy division back in the day, but then they just racked up first-round draft picks.
It seems like once Wilson hit this division, it blew up.
Wilson, yep, and then the 49ers have been just a good, solid team of good coaching, good defense, solid offense, good running the ball.
Mm-hmm. They had the most, I want to say combined, no. They had some of the most team running rush yards last year.
Yeah, they destroyed the Packers. And then, obviously Seattle, and then we got Arizona, who with Kyler Murray at quarterback, they're a young team that's doing some big things.
Mm-hmm.
Got DeAndre Hopkins off that crazy, dumb trade that the Texans did.
Yeah, and Bill O'Brien is still trying to justify it, saying it was a good idea.
Who was the last one?
The Rams.
Yeah, and then the Rams were, they're actually probably one of the, honestly, they might be one of the weaker ones now. I don't know.
It's really hard to call who the weakest team in this division is, but we're going to go by last year's rankings.
Okay.
We're going to go team by team. We're going to break down the people that actually matter on this team. And we're going to start off with our division champions last year, the Seattle Seahawks. Not too much as far as, going out in free agency and doing a bunch of stuff. They helped out their defense a little bit, but then they went out and got Gerald Everett now that they don't have really a good tight end anymore. They lost Jimmy Graham they had a couple years ago. Who was their guy last year? I thought they had somebody decent last year.
Yeah, I don't remember. Greg Olsen?
Yeah, that was it. Greg Olsen. They had him
Is he
last
retired
year.
Now?
I believe he's fully retired again. So we'll see what happens with him. But yeah, they went out and signed a good, strong tight end, Gerald Everett. They went out, I guess I can't really say they went out. They obviously have Wilson. He's their quarterback. He's
in his prime.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's in his prime. He's
let Russ cook.
He's a winner. That's the one thing he is. He's a little undersized as a quarterback, but that's never affected him. He's always been smart, and smart will beat size any
Yep.
day.
He's quick. He's got his
Okay.
legs, but he can still go out and throw with the best of them, get potentially 4,500 passing yards in a season.
Yeah.
And especially with the two main wide receivers that he has. Like Metcalf and Lockett, man, who's one and who's number two?
Metcalf, I would say, is number
A
one.
lot of
but
people in the Seahawks camp still say that Lockett is the number one guy, whereas Metcalf is the
I
number
guess
two.
Have to look on the depth chart on their website or something, but
I don't really think they see it as a 1 and 2. I think it's a 1A and 1B.
basically,
And both these guys are just insane killer guys. And especially, I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw this out there right now. The value of Tyler Lockett right now.
Yeah.
Like Metcalf, he is a end of the second round guy. A lot of people are seeing him going in the end of the second round.
He's a
I've
beast.
been doing a couple of mock drafts and whatnot. And yeah, at a 12-team draft, like in my other league right now, he's right there being drafted in like the 22, 23, 24 spot. You know, right around the bend there between rounds 2 and 3. Lockett, on the other hand, I'm able to pick him up in round 5 and 6.
yeah, and he still puts up numbers. Man.
He
gets the
last year, Tyler Lockett was the number 8 wide receiver, whereas Metcalf was the number 7 wide receiver.
Yeah, very balanced. Very balanced.
Very balanced team. The only thing that I would say, though, to the contrary of that is, as Lockett's owner last year, he had like 2 or 3 games where he absolutely blew up the world.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the season, he was mediocre at best. So I think he's got a huge amount of boom capability. I think his floor is decent, but he's not the type of guy that's going to light up the scoreboard every week.
But yeah.
Whereas Metcalf will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they'll both get a lot of targets no matter what. They'll get the looks.
Yeah. And then they went out and got Dwayne Eskridge in the second round, pick number 24. So a decent wide receiver group that they have going on here to really complement, you know, Carson and Rashad Penny. This team has come out and said that they do want to be more of a rush first team. So I'm hoping maybe good things for Carson and Penny this year. Carson obviously being the number 1 guy.
Yeah, Carson.
He's going in like the 3rd round from what I'm seeing, which I think is value for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the tight ends right now, Will Disley, Gerald Everett, and Colby Parkinson. I like all 3 of those guys. They're all tremendous talents. I think Disley and Everett are going to be the main 2 guys for this group. Mm-hmm. And Everett I see as being the hands down number 1, the guy that you probably want to target in your draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that too.
Yep. Fun little draft side note with these guys. They only had 3 picks in rounds 2, 4, and 6.
And one of them was a receiver.
One of them was a receiver. So even though they have 2 of the best wide receivers in the league, one of the best combo.
Guy that could sneak up.
Yep. A guy that could definitely be a sleeper at the end of the year. Our next team in this division is the Los Angeles Rams. I'm still getting used to saying that. Los Angeles Rams, they had kind of a productive offseason.
Yeah, no, I mean, they also got a receiver in the second round.
Yeah, this was a group that went out and got receivers in the second round because so did the Cards.
And they got Deshaun Jackson, right?
Yeah, they went out, they picked up Deshaun Jackson.
He's been hurt so much over the past couple of years. He was doing well when he would play,
14-year
but
vet.
yeah, and he always relied on his speed. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be very cautious about. I don't know. I don't know if I would want him anymore. But
I wouldn't pick up Deshaun Jackson. Honestly, as far as the wide receivers go on this team, Kupp and Woods, they're it. If Tutu Atwell, their second round draft pick, decides, you know, he wants to show up, and God knows with Matthew Stafford there now, is it Sean McVay?
Sean McVay.
Sean McVay. I don't know why I got McDermott. Sean McVay he's the quarterback whisperer, man.
Yeah.
With Jared Goff, who is not that talented, not nearly as I think talented of a
Sure.
quarterback as Matthew Stafford,
Right.
he was still putting up 4,500 yards every year. Do you think it's feasible or out of the realm of possibility that Matthew Stafford has a 5,000 yard season?
Definitely with the 17th game now too.
Yeah, extra game this year.
I actually was hearing some discussions about can there be the first ever 6,000 yard passer ever because of that extra game.
I think that could be Dak
that would
personally.
be pretty wild. But yeah, with Stafford, no, I agree. I like him better than Goff. I never liked Goff.
I did. He won me a championship like
No.
3-4 years ago.
There you go. But I think Stafford is better than him.
And Stafford's been on terrible
he's
teams
just been on,
too.
Just the Lions have always they ruined the careers of so many great players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited that he does get an opportunity though on a different team to show what he can do. With the Lions, you know, again, like with Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders, they never went to another team. That was it.
Yeah.
They went there and they died there.
Yep.
So let's see what Stafford can do.
Absolutely. I'm really excited for him. I've liked Stafford. I've picked him up in the past. I think he is a tremendous talent and severely underrated considering he is going in like the late, round 9, 10, somewhere in there.
Sure.
However, I think that has a little bit to do with the fact that he did suffer a right thumb contusion. He had off-season surgery on that right thumb, and now he hit it off a lineman's helmet.
Of course, that's always a bad injury.
Yeah, so I think there's a little bit of skepticism going into the start of the year, but if you can get Stafford in the double-digit rounds and keep him rostered on your bench or something, I think he could be huge, especially second half of the season.
Sure, I agree. Yep.
The running back situation is a little more straightforward now because they lost Cam Akers. He tore his Achilles out for the season. Darrell Henderson is kind of the guy there now.
Yep.
They have 2 or 3 other guys as running backs on this roster, none of which are
Worthy of even
potential.
discussion.
Yeah, they're not even worthy of me taking the time to write down their name or copy and paste their name over, I should say. So, yeah, Darrell Henderson is going to be the guy. He is a tremendous value going in the late 5th and 6th round as well.
Definitely, because he will get the carries.
Yeah, and you look at the Rams and their running back situations for the past several years. Yeah, they had Gurley, who was huge like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. Then they had a couple of different guys, last year, Cam Akers being one of them, plus Malcolm Brown. They had like just a couple of different guys circulating through there. They were all tremendous. They all had great seasons. They all show that they can be those number one guys if they were to go to another team. So here's seeing what Darrell Henderson can do. He did pretty well last year. I hope he can do better. Now, they did lose Jared Everett, as we said. He went to a division rival, but they still have Tyler Higbee there.
They do.
And I think he's a great tight end. I think he's going to be a top 15 tight end this year. I don't know if he's going to be somebody that you necessarily want to go out and draft. But again, that Stafford connection could be there.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams are going to be passing probably a lot better, I think, without, or not even necessarily better, but they're going to be passing more because they don't have a reliable running back. Unless Darrell Henderson comes out of nowhere and is just lighting up the football field.
He could be the James Robinson of last year.
James Robinson from Rockford, Illinois, my hometown. Anyway, Darrell Henderson. So, yeah, I mean, it's I don't know if they're going to be trying to run the ball as much as they did last year with who they got right now. And with Stafford, I mean, I think Sean McVay would trust Stafford to take the offense and just pass 40, 50 times a game and be in candidacy for that 5,000-yard season or more.
Yeah. The only thing that I see working against them is actually the talent of their defense. And if their defense is able to just stifle teams and keep them down, it's not going to bode well for the passing game.
Richard Sherman now.
Do they?
Yeah.
I did not see
He
anything
went from
about
the
that.
49ers to the Rams, I think. It was like a secret, like, just slide in there, I
Huh.
thought.
It's like what my last date did. These guys had 9 draft picks. 5 went to defense, 4 went to offense. Their 4 offensive picks this year went to 3 to wide receiver and 1 running back.
There you go.
It's insane. Obviously, their highest pick of really any note was Tutu Atwell.
That's pretty wild. They got 3
3
receivers?
new wide receivers in the draft this year and 1 running back.
Wow.
Pretty all over the place as far as defense goes, but yeah, apparently with 2 of the better wide receivers in the league, they felt they needed to go out and get 3 new ones.
Okay, then.
Yeah, seems like a waste a little bit, but let's see what happens. The Cardinals, they went out and signed J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, James Conner.
They're going all in. They're throwing all their chips into the freaking pot.
They really are, man, especially with how good Kyler Murray is supposed to be this year.
Yeah.
Supposed to be.
Well, I mean, and they have good running backs around him.
Yeah.
Those receivers,
Chase Edmonds and
those
James
receivers
Conner.
are old, but I mean, they're veterans that are still capable of making moves. You don't even have Fitzgerald on there, who's the
He's
most
not
famous.
on there.
He's on the.
He's
are you
not
sure?
on their team.
I just saw a post yesterday. I said, what team is he on?
He's not in the league
I had
right
a post
now.
yesterday that said, guess how well he'll do this year. So
Yeah, I'm betting it's a 0 because Larry Fitzgerald is not currently on any NFL team.
why not?
He's old?
But he wants to be on a team.
I'm sure he does, and I'm sure he still has the talent and can go to a team. But at least the Cards this year have decided to not re-sign him.
He is a free agent.
And they're just sticking with Hopkins, Christian Kirk, A.J. Green, and then their second-round draft pick, Rondell Moore.
Well, they replaced Fitzgerald with A.J. Green, and A.J. Green's better at this point because he's young, a little bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's a really nice core of receivers.
Absolutely.
Really good depth. The running backs are good and have good depth.
Both are good pass catchers out of the backfield as
mean,
well.
It's and then they got and for the defense that was suspect. Now they got 5 players they drafted on defense. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
plus J.J. Watt.
dude,
I mean,
I'm most excited about the Cardinals, to be quite
yeah,
honest.
I think the Cardinals could be the next iteration of the greatest show on turf.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think they're and I like their coaching staff. I like their coach from
Kingsbury.
from Texas Tech, doing the air raid offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're gonna. If I had put money down for the heck of it, I would probably do it on the Cardinals to win the division.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, when you look at last season, the Cardinals had a really good offense. Yeah, the running game was a little suspect, and I think Chase Edmonds and James Conner definitely solidify that.
Yeah.
It was their defense, man. The fact that they had to score 40 points in a game to keep up in any game. So the fact that they really tried to go out and help solidify their defense, I think that's going to help out a lot with this team. And yeah, I see the Cards potentially being a division winner this year.
I agree.
As far as the 49ers go, they didn't have a transactions page, so screw you, 49ers. I have no idea what the hell you guys did in the offseason. I know you went out and picked up Wayne Gallman from the Giants, so good job. You got a third-string running back there. But I mean, I think there's the most questions about this team right here, and there's a couple spots that are definitely solidified, like obviously Kittle. Kittle is the tight end here. Debo, Ayuk, I absolutely love them as wide receivers.
Yeah, they're very solid, young. And,
I mean, Ayuk is he's one of my guys. I'll be honest. If I can come out of the draft with Brandon Ayuk, I'm stoked. I'm happy. He seems to be going in like the 5th and 6th round. I'm hoping he drops a little bit and I can pick him up in like the 6th round or something like that, depending on the league.
I'm
But
gonna steal him and get him in the 4th now.
yeah, that's something that you can absolutely do and waste that pick.
And make you sad.
Make me a sad panda. But Yeah, as far as, the rest of this team goes, quarterback, who's going to be the quarterback come start of the year? I personally believe it's Jimmy G.
Well, yeah, it's going to be Jimmy G, but it's just a matter of like if he struggles,
How long until Trey
Lance? How long of a
Lance?
leash does he get? I mean, you see that throw that Trey Lance did like a week ago. That was like a 67-yard pass or something in the air, and they were saying that Jimmy G in his time with the 49ers has not done a pass that long yet, and that was Trey Lance's first pass. Was that? He has talent. I knew that when he got drafted. He's going to be one of those run around, make plays with his feet and arm. I actually do think, like, marking it down now, he's going to be a star in this league very soon. But maybe it might take a year of transition from Jimmy G first.
I don't think Trey Lance starts before week 6.
Yeah.
I think they give Jimmy G a little bit of a chance.
I agree with that,
But if it looks like they're starting to flounder, I say, yeah, Trey Lance will be there around week 6. I would not suggest drafting him just because I think that he's just going to take up a roster spot on your bench. And, once you see what Jimmy G looks like come week 1, 2, 3, that's when I would think – that's when I would think about potentially picking up a Trey Lance. And then as far as the running backs go, I mean, Raheem Mostert, ton of injuries in this past. So who knows what's going to happen with him, how long he's going to stay healthy. Wayne Gallman took over for the Giants last year after Saquon went down. Did relatively well. Mm-hmm. But then they have Jeff Wilson already, who did really well at the end of last season, really came on strong, looked like he was going to be a solid number 1 guy. And then they go out and draft Trey Sermon in the 3rd round, and everybody there in San Francisco is really high on him. So I don't know what the hell is going on with the running back situation here. I probably would not pick up any of these guys. I wouldn't pick him up until the 7th round.
Yeah, probably.
Just because who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows?
You could pick up Mostert in the back of the draft and get a really good, running back for like 4 or 5 weeks maybe, but I guarantee by that point he's dealing with something.
Sure, yeah.
That's just how it seems to go with him. So, and then 5 of their 8 draft spots in this draft this year went to offensive positions, but it was like a lot of linemen, and obviously we know Trey Lance and Trey Sermon and stuff like that. So,
I mean, that's what they do. They load up on the big men and they run the football down your throat.
Yep. They like those big beefy boys.
Yeah, they do.
But a lot of really good talent in this division. I'm really looking forward to see how this division ultimately does play out, because it really can be one of the best in the league.
I'm actually surprised Trey Lance is ranked.
Yeah, they started adding in some rookie rankings here. As far as the guys that have played last year, Wilson was number 6. Highly recommended that we draft him. Stafford, number 16. I think he could take a step up. He was number 16 last year, even with dealing with a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
So I think he could take a step forward. Kyler. I love Kyler. I think he's going to be the number 1 quarterback this year. Him or Dak, personally, I think they're going to be the number 1 guys.
I agree with that, too. Again, dual threat quarterback like him. He's just getting better and better every year.
Jimmy G was number 32 last year. I think he dealt with some injuries as well. And then Trey Lance, he's a rookie. He didn't play last year. However, they are projecting Trey Lance to be just the number 35 overall quarterback.
Yeah.
Jimmy G, 27. So they're not really holding too much hope for either of them right now. I think, they're seeing it as a Jimmy G is not going to do well. Trey Lance is going to take over later in the season, and that's why he's going to have poor rankings.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Trey Lance could be really big end of the year. Kyler Murray, they have him projected for number 4, Deshaun Watson at 9, and Matthew Stafford, they see him taking a step back to 23. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that either. I would think 16 or above a little bit.
Yeah, I only see Matthew Stafford getting better, especially if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, that is the key.
Yeah.
That is the key.
Now, as far as running backs in this division, not a lot of people that I would suggest drafting early. Carson and really Henderson are the only two that I would potentially draft before round 5. After that, you're going to have like your Connors, your Chase Edmonds, Gallmans, Mosterts, people like that.
Yep. No, again, more cert. He put up a lot of fantasy points. I don't know what he did last year, but he's.
Yeah, it didn't really come up with a ranking for Mostert last year.
Interesting. It is interesting.
Yeah, I couldn't find
hurt.
anything for him. I think he was hurt a lot of the season last year. He might have been part of that group that tore their ACL week 2.
Yeah, he might.
Because there was a big group of people that did that. So who knows? I could not find Mostert in rankings. But as far as the running backs that really matter, Carson is ranked number 9, Henderson number 17, Chase Edmonds 21, James Conner 33. So they really have them splitting the workload and having both Edmonds and Conner be fantasy relevant this year.
Yeah. I would imagine Edmonds would be more of the pass catcher.
Yeah.
Conner would be the downhill runner.
Yep. That's what they're planning on so far. Mostert being number 30. Gallman at 58, Trey Sherman at 73, and Jeff Wilson at 40. So that's how those guys are stacking up this year. The best tight end in this division, Kittle, number 18 last year, just because of injury and anomalies, ranked for number 3 this year. Do you see him being number 3 or number 2? Because we all know who's going to be number 1.
Kelsey.
Yeah. It all comes down to Kittle and Waller is what people are saying right now. Possibly a sprinkling of Mark Andrews in there.
What about the new rookie?
Not projecting him that high. They're projecting him for Kyle Pitts. I want to say they're projecting him for a top 6 finish. But, yeah.
I don't know. I would probably put Kittle number 2.
I think if he stays healthy, he's number 2.
Darren Waller is good too.
Darren Waller, though, is the only option right now in Oakland when you really look at it. I mean, who you got? Ruggs and Edwards as your wide receivers there, and Josh Jacobs, and you just got somebody else too. I want to say the other wide receiver or running back that just left the Cardinals.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah. Nobody else in this division I would really personally draft, honestly. Higbee, they have projected at number 17. The rest of them are projected up above 30s and beyond. So don't know how fantasy relevant any of them are, but you never know. You could find that diamond in the rough, especially with the Gerald Everett.
You could.
Yeah, they're projecting him to be 42 this year and Will Disley to be 36 for the Seattle Seahawks. But who knows? Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Yep. And then wide receivers. This is a really good group of wide receivers. A lot of guys projected in the top 30. Metcalf and Lockett are obviously 2 of the best, and they're projected for 12 and 24 respectively. I think that's pretty on point for both of them. I see Lockett being a potentially top 15 guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to top 24, but he's a target monster,
they're
man.
both top 10 last year, so.
Yep.
I would say, probably at least above 20.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, they're projecting to be number 20 and 33 at the moment. Atwell, they're seeing as being a non-factor there for the Rams. But yeah, Kupp and Woods. Kupp was dealing with injuries last year, was still the number 25 receiver. Woods, number 10 at the end of the year. I believe I traded him to you at one point for Derrick Henry.
He did really well.
He did really well. Him and Carson, I traded to you for
actually
Derrick Henry.
That was actually a pretty good trade.
Yeah, absolutely was. I did not mind having Derrick Henry.
I didn't mind having some depth at receiver.
Yeah, definitely. Oh God, Jackson. Deshaun Jackson. They're projecting him to be 50 overall.
I think he's undraftable. I just do not want it. He's
want
not
him.
going to do anything.
No, absolutely not. Hopkins, they're projecting him to take a big step back and become the number 9 wide receiver from number 4 last year.
I mean, I'll take him if no one else wants him at 9.
Yeah, if nobody else wants to pick him up, I'll happily get him. I don't know why, but I always end up with Hopkins on my team. I want to say for the past 4 or 5 years in a row, I've always ended up with Hopkins. And I absolutely love him. Hands down, love him. He's one of my guys. Christian Kirk, couldn't find any stats for him last year, projecting him to be 69 overall this year. I see him being better than that.
A little better than that. It's just a matter of if the ball can get around to everyone and then get to him. I mean, there's just a lot of weapons on that team.
Yeah, absolutely. But AJ Green, I don't see as being much of a factor just because he tends to deal with a lot of injuries. He is constantly dealing with below the shin injuries, as I'll put it.
Below the shin?
Below the shin. And then, Debo and Ayuk from San Francisco, they're projecting to be 15 and 27. So it's like the top 2 guys from all of these teams are really draftable.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a very good receiver depth in this division. Every single team has guys that can make or break your fantasy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I think that's it. That is our NFC West preview.
It is.
Just wanted to finish up by stating a couple things real quick for you guys. As I said before, the draft will probably be Tuesday, September 7th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. I will be sending out emails here soon for fees and whatnot. So we'll get that going as soon as you guys are able. It's really easy to do it again through PayPal. Mm-hmm. So, if you guys have any questions or anything, I just went through the process. I sent myself money just to make sure I paid my league fees already, and I had a good demo and know how to do it. So, all that said, do you have anything else to add?
No.
So,
I'm good.
I think that's it for this week. So, for myself, Mr. Garrett M. La Laguna, the M stands for middle name. And my co-host, Mr. Tony S. Burgess, the S stands for...
Set your draft boards.
Set your draft boards, or Scott.
Or Scott.
So, I think that's about it. Anything else to add? Mm-hmm. We have draft order already taken care of now. So, set your draft boards, get your lineups ready, and football is almost upon us.
Let's do it.
Preseason week 2 starts tonight. Let's do it.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you next time.